The Youth Leadership Academy is a program specifically focused on out-of-school youth that are unemployed and are unskilled or partially skilled. The program is focused on, amongst others, self-development, and it includes leadership development and enterprise development training. Now, groups of no bigger than 30 individuals at a time are trained, mentored, coached, and redeployed as either youth facilitators and coaches in schools and clinics or entrepreneurs with one or other business opportunity. To tell us more, I have now with us once again the General Manager of Public Affairs at Sasol, Dr. Ivor Zwane. Good morning. It's good to have you again.
Good morning.
We live in an age where they speak of a leadership vacuum. Now, we're talking today of the Youth Leadership Academy. Could this be the answer that we need?
I think the key thing is that the vision of good economic growth for our country lies in our youth. We need to have the skills. We need to have the right people who are going to drive and lead the country in the future. So what we are trying to look at here is how do we provide opportunity? How do we provide self-worth? Because when you're looking at unemployed and out of school and unskilled or semi-skilled, usually the esteem there is quite low. People feel worthless. So what this seeks to do is to build the person, to show them there are opportunities out there. There is life out there. You just have to work on it. So it's all about that. And you do that by looking at what is lacking to you as a person. Build the brand, the me brand, okay? And say it's not a lost case. There's still, you are worthy of something, you can do something.
And what's the model that it takes? How do you do that? The 30 people that sign up, how do you take them through that process?
Well, first we do an assessment, psychometric assessment, to find out what are they strong at and what are they weak at. So we focus at the weaknesses and make sure that they are not hindered at that, and also strengthen the strengths. That look, you are a person, you are good at these things. These are the things that you can use for your own livelihood. And then from there, it's then the entrepreneurial development of it, where is to show them, you know what, you don't have to look at getting a job. You can create your own job. You've got these skills, you've got these talents. So it's a matter of bringing them in and saying, what are the opportunities that you can exploit on things that you are good at, for which you can be self-employed, and who knows, you could end up employing others. So it builds that amount of leadership within the community and the youth to saying, you know, I can do things. And when others look at them, they say, well, if so-and-so, whom I know is a dropout, can do that, so I can too. So
and what's the change that you find? I mean, those who are successfully enrolled in the program and after they finish the program,
well,
what's the change?
It's actually quite encouraging. You know, the me brand thing is very powerful. You know, from somebody who's shy and looking down to somebody who now sits up and talks. Okay? You teach them interviewing skills, how to do a CV, you know, how to actually show people what you are worth. It's amazing how it works on you psychologically, and you believe, I am.
Right.
Okay? And this is where we're seeing this change in the person, the attitude. And some of them actually do get jobs, okay, after they've been through the academy. And some of them do start some kind of business. It can be a very simple thing like baking and supplying in the township for weddings and funerals. Simple things like that. We try and help them to see the opportunities where they are. So we're seeing those dynamics beginning to happen. But what is key for us is that they're now becoming role models, where some of them go and become coaches and mentors of others, naturally. I mean, if you are at home and you've got siblings and this is what you've done, the natural thing is to talk about it at home and encourage your own siblings. You know, it's not a dead end. You can also go into this, you'll be supported in that. So it is beginning to have a dynamic of its own within the community.
And how long does the young person actually stay in the program?
Well, you're talking of 4 to 6 months, usually, depending on how well they're catching on issues. Because the idea is not to rush through it, but to make sure that you take everybody with you. And of course, you do have dropouts. Some people just don't like school. There's nothing you can do about that. But those who actually realize the value stay on to the end. And so far, we've had a 100% pass rate throughput.
And for those who might not go to the FET college, what are the opportunities that then exist for them after they've gone through the program?
People did not think that they need to go to the FET college or finish their grade 12 if they don't want to.
Right.
Okay. If they feel that they want to use their hands or there's a skill they've got, there's an avenue. There are other skills development initiatives which are there, which are far more robust and real things, you know, like welding, boiler making, those things that industry requires. Because remember, Sasolburg is an industrial town and we need skills that fit with that type of operation. So we do run separate skills development programs, use it with the community and taking them up to able to use their hands. If you're good in welding, they will teach you to become a coded welder, and we can then be incorporated into shutdowns countrywide, as well as helping us with our operations and maintenance, etc., etc. So it's part of a bigger skills development initiative, looking at youth development at the end of the day.
I wanted to get there. Is this part of the bigger picture for Sasol to be able to get that kind of workforce that is well trained in that area?
Well, the academy is not looking at building a workforce for Sasol per se, okay? But it's looking at saying, let's not ignore those who may not have the right skills, because remember, Sasol is you need high skills to be at Sasol. There's a lot of engineering type things that need to be done, research, high level. You need people with degrees and higher diplomas, etc., etc. So for those people who are savvy skilled, we also need to bring hope to them that you can also survive. Okay, and try and provide a platform where they can operate and be able to look after themselves. So it's looking at all levels. Okay, we do look at the higher levels where we spend way over 60 million on just bursaries to make sure that the good grade 12s in sciences and accounting areas go through, get that opportunity. And then we look at the schooling level and make sure that we can pipe them all the way through. So we have other academies, if I can put it that way, where we take a cohort right through the system and make sure that we maximize grade 12 pass rate at a higher level. Okay, and then we look at what happens to those who fall off. Okay, and if you can encourage those to go back into the system, even better. But also what other opportunities are there? So you can see the bigger picture. It's quite a big picture that we're trying to impact it, right from ECD all the way to a graduate.
Dr. Zwane, always a pleasure. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.